What's going on, guys? Here at our warehouse. Philip, what's going on?
How you doing, man?
Good. So this is my first time checking this place out, by the way. You guys can see here, this is enormous. Philip runs this place, so you can see here, I've got all these boxes and everything. I don't even know how you do it, to be quite honest.
Man, a lot of help. It's a lot of stuff that's going on here, but we got a great team, and it's exciting.
Wow.
Growth is here.
Let's check this place out a little bit. So you got this, and this is the finished product, right?
Absolutely. This is stuff that we package and ready to pack out, send out to Amazon's fulfillment center. We got a team that fully processes stuff. Once it's done, once it's polybagged, it needs to get labeled, put FNSPUs, all that good stuff here.
And what about, so what's going on right here? Can you guys give a little bit of a laydown of what's happening?
Absolutely. We got one of our team members here. She's going through the store. She's making sure that everything that we uploaded into the store is actually ready to go out, ready to be packaged, put labels on, and all that good stuff.
Cool. Well, you know what I think we should do? It's a bit loud in here, a little bit echoey. Why don't we go somewhere a bit quieter, and then that way we can talk one-on-one and have a little bit more, talk between us.
Absolutely.
Let's do it.
Oh! Dang.
I don't really know what happened there, to be quite honest, but anyway, guys, here with Philip. Really happy to be here with you and really check everything out, because there's there's a lot of people that continually talk about things from your side, and I don't think they really get to experience the inner day works that you currently do. I mean, you work here 5, 6, sometimes 7 days a week.
8 days if I can fit it in, man. It's pretty, it's intense. There's a lot of stuff that goes on the back end that I don't think a lot of people fully understand. So I'm super pumped that you were able to come down here and, take a look. We're able to document this for, for pretty much everybody. So thank you for coming down here. It's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's good to see this and for you guys to understand what kind of an operation this currently looks like, because I mean, it's a large expanding operation. So
absolutely,
it's just good to have that, demonstrate all that. So without further ado, so I've had people ask a lot of questions about things from your side. So I'm thinking like I do kind of an interview with you, I think it's going to be cool.
Absolutely. Yeah, like I said, I'm usually not on the marketing end of it, usually pretty deep in the operations, but I can get my face on camera and do this for sure.
Awesome. Yeah, no, sounds good. So let me just ask you a few questions, starting with, what would you say from your side of things, what would you say are the key components to a successful Amazon store?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I actually think there's two key components. I think there's a component on the client side, and I think there's a component on our side as the provider, right? And to kind of break this down a little bit more, I think on the client side, it's got to come from a mindset point of view, right? You have to first understand that this is a real business, right? And most businesses fail within the first 1 to 2 years. Most don't even break a profit until 5 years down the line, right? Obviously with us, it's a lot quicker, but I think people understanding that this is a long-term business, this is not a get-rich-quick scheme, is really one big key component. I think, patience and really understanding that, it takes time, right? This is not drop shipping. We're not listing a product and then it gets fulfilled by, going and ordering it from Walmart or wherever, and then it gets shipped out, right? These are physical components that we have to touch. Absolutely. Every single time, right? And we got a crew of over 10 people out there that's doing it on a day-to-day basis. It's stuff that they have to process, they have to label, they have to polybag, they have to put it in a box, label it, and send it out, right? So there's a lot of things that go into it from the client side. From our side, we have to have the right tools. We have to have the right infrastructure, right? One of the reasons that you're here is because we upgraded our warehouse. We went from, roughly 5,000 square feet to 15,000 square feet. Right. We doubled our workforce, right? You got to have proper tools like Keepa in order to do the proper analysis on, the products that we're getting in. And then I think one of the biggest things is you have to have relationships with vendors, right? You have to be able to expand that on a very consistent basis, because things with Amazon is that you have a product that does well and then it stops doing well, and you have to continually be building relationships and finding products and keeping it into the ecosystem.
Yeah, and greatly put. I like what you said there about it being also a client-based thing, and then on our side, I mean, there's always those two components as like the main structure. I mean, we're the ones providing the service, and then our clients need to understand that they're the ones that are funding the business. They go very hand in hand, and I don't think a lot of people realize that. So, great answer there.
Thank you.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Thanks,
so,
man. Appreciate that.
So another thing I want to ask is why FBA over other methods? Why do you think FBA, like, what is it the reason that this is the main focus on what, is offered here at Smart FBA?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, if you want to be on these third-party platforms, you really want to play by their game, right? You can drop ship on Amazon and some people do well, others get their stores suspended. I think with FBA, the key is that that's what Amazon wants you to do. And when you play the FBA game, you get 50 to 60% more visibility on the listings that you're putting up. Yeah. You don't have to worry necessarily about dealing with pay-per-click and that kind of stuff. You get organic search, and with what we do, we focus on brands, right? We focus on brands that people know, that there's already a brand loyalty to, and that helps to not have to worry about having budgets for advertising. Right now, it's more about sourcing the products, getting them to client stores, and just letting that brand loyalty kind of do its thing. With FBA, you have better metrics. You don't have to worry about ODR. Most of the fulfillment part's handled by FBA, so they handle the customer service. Like I said, ODR doesn't become an issue, so it's a lower risk game. And for us, we have a 3-tiered approach with how we really want our clients to succeed with FBA. You have to have kind of a longer term product that you put in stores, and the reason I'm saying this, so basically you need a something that sells quick, something that's a little bit more medium term, like 3 months, and then something that's a longer key, 6 to 12 months. And the reason I say that is because you don't want your store doing this, right? You want it to be steady and then steadily scale. And if you just focus on sourcing things that sell quick, you're gonna sell it out. And in today's world with supply chains and shipping issues and labor issues and trucking and all that kind of stuff, you want to make sure that you're really diversifying your portfolio of what you're putting in your client stores. So
and I think people don't realize that they always look for that short-term product. I mean, we've had some products like those Sharpies and phone cases, and we've had some of those products that just sell instantly. They're gone within a few days, if that. And then people want more of those, but they don't realize that you got to find those products that you can continually get at every time. So those longer term products help the store out a lot, generate all the positive feedback, which then fuels the store and gets momentum going with that. And I think people sometimes forget about that part. That's one of the things to consider.
I think also, and I want to kind of expand on that point. What people don't understand too is that with Amazon, a lot of times it's a race to the bottom game, right? If you have other people that jump on a listing with these hot selling products, a lot of times they race to the bottom. So for us, our goal is to get our clients profit, right? They got to make money in this game. So when you're focusing on those type of profit or those type of products, sometimes you kind of it becomes a little bit more of a risky game, because we don't want to just be in on one. Like I said, we want to have a diverse portfolio. We want to have a little bit higher margins for what we're able to offer the clients versus what we're able to sell it for in Amazon.
No, exactly. Great point there. So let me jump into another question that I've gotten. Some people always ask, why do some FBA stores fail? What would you say is like the main reason? Why do some FBA stores fail in the marketplace?
Yeah, no, that's a really good question, man. I think, kind of going back to the first point, one is mindset. I think people really need to understand that, what does a corporation like Walmart do, right? They're not buying a pallet of goods and waiting for that pallet to sell out before they ever buy something else, right? It's you have to consistently be buying stuff into your store. You have to consistently be okay with what your first order didn't maybe sell out right away. I mean, you're gonna get sales. I mean, that's one thing that's beautiful with FBA. You put stuff in their store, things are gonna sell, right? But if you don't sell out that first order, don't just sit and wait for it to sell out before you put another order in. I mean, I brought up the point about shipping and things like that. You have to understand that, if you order something today, it's 3 weeks before it gets here, right? we also have other clients that are in queue before these people. So you have to have the mindset of like, okay, I'm going to put this order in, but I also have a budget for the next 6 months to put more orders in. And it's got to be a compounding effect, right? We got to make sure that they're thinking kind of a big picture, right? It's in that goes back to the mindset for the client. So
that makes sense. That's really the biggest component I see too, is just that mindset of knowing that this is a long-term venture. I mean, you're buying products, you're buying wholesale products, and you're storing it. And like people, I think sometimes just don't think of these things, and they don't realize what's actually going behind the scenes. Like this warehouse, like everything coming in, the products that are coming in the morning and sometimes afternoon, and everything that actually unfolds here at the Smart FBA. Warehouse. So again, just looking back at that, just understanding what kind of an operation goes down, I think people need to really look at. So,
and also, something to think about. Once we process it here and we send it out, it's out of our control. What I think a lot of people don't understand is that once we send it to a FBA facility, it doesn't necessarily mean that the facility that it gets to is going to open it up and process it all. A lot of times what Amazon does is they'll take whatever that shipment is and then they'll send it off to 10, 15, 20 other fulfillment centers. And until it gets to that fulfillment center, it's not considered active, right? So that kind of goes back into having that patient's mindset and understanding that this is a long-term game, right? Once it hits your available inventory, then it's going to start selling and all that kind of stuff. But we don't control that internal supply chain that Amazon does. So something else to think about.
So here's just another, I guess, last fun question.
Okay.
Where do you see us 5 years from now? I mean, I know it's been a journey so far. I know it's great. Things have gotten much, much better, pretty much month over month. So where do you see us 5 years from now?
I'm very excited. I always think long term, but in our business climate, it really is a day-to-day type thing, right? But what I'm excited about is we've built so many supplier-vendor relationships. We have access to so many different products. We invested into a facility that's 3 times the size of what it was. We have our own employees. People are excited to actually come work with us. So I think the key is really just being able to adapt to the market climate, being able to adapt to finding more vendors and more suppliers and bringing that stuff in. I'm excited for the next 5 years. I think in 5 years, we'll have a bigger warehouse. I think we'll have more clients, and I think we'll have a lot more success stories. So that's what I'm excited about. I mean, for us, it's all about the client. It's always about the client, and really establishing these roots and really letting people know that, look, we're not outsourcing anything, right? We have everything here that's under our control. And I think that, you don't see that a lot in the industry. Because people just outsource it, right? It's easy to market something and then outsource it, but this is work. This is real work, and it takes a lot of people to make it happen. And we are committed to doing that for our clients. So I think as long as we keep that mindset that really it's clients first, I think 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the line, we'll be still doing what we're doing and having a lot of client success stories. So I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, well, I think that about wraps it up, Philip. Thanks again for jumping on. I wanted to
absolutely, man.
Get your face out there and share this type of information, because at the end of the day, guys, this is the guy that is out here. He's our COO, working here pretty much every day of the week. So thanks a lot, Philip, for all you do. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you, too. I mean, the key, I think, for people to understand what we do is making content. You do a really good job of making content and really setting level-headed expectations for people and letting them know the real deal. I've watched a lot of videos before of other people in the space, and it's always a lot of high promises. I think setting realistic expectations is key, and not a lot of people do that. So I commend you for doing that. So
awesome.
Thanks for coming down. Thanks for checking out, guys. Thanks for checking out this video. I know you don't see me very often on camera, but thanks for checking it out. Thanks for being a client. If you're looking to jump on board, get with my guy Cohen. He'll get all your questions answered.
Awesome. Perfect. Well, thanks a lot, Philip.
Absolutely.
And thanks you guys for tuning in today. So without further ado, guys, we'll see you guys on the next one.
Take care.
Bye.